Coach, I have a question for you. You mentioned on the Studio 12 podcast recently that you're very excited about the competitive teams that are coming to the Memorial Invitational. So my question to you is, riding off the momentum of last year's Final Four finish, do you think that with that momentum and with the return of this tournament, since the last one was played in 2014, that you feel it could become a regular stop for the more competitive teams?
I think so. I think on two fronts. I think, you've got a lot of competitive teams in the state of Texas. We host a regional next spring, so everybody's going to want to try and get a look at Traditions. Traditions is a very challenging golf course. So we'll always have, I would say every year, some sort of postseason or once every 4 years for our sport. But, first thing, our challenge was reintroducing it. And on the women's side, you have a lot of programs that just play the same schedule every year. So you had to reintroduce it in a rotation of where other teams might be playing. So, that was why we tried to get it out way ahead of time when I was hired. But the field is great this year. I think you will always just see, half the field's having a national presence very competitively, and the other half will be a very regional flavor with teams that could drive here. And I really truly believe, I don't say it's like the best that we can do. I just think that's the way this field's always going to be. I wouldn't say it's always going to be like a national field. I think we're just going to have the best of both. So. Mm-hmm.
Let's go down the front right to Travis from the Eagle.
Coach, I know this is a little big picture, but coming off of last year and starting this year, what do you equate to how quickly the team has grasped you, your concepts, and the success that y'all have had so quickly in your tenure here?
That's a good question for Hailee. If you want some real, if you want honest, we'll let Hailee be honest first and answer that.
So he's just been, I think, coming in. I'm a transfer, obviously, but immediately we kind of trusted him with just what he said, what he brought to the table, his ideas, he's very good at communicating what he expects, and we're good at communicating back. But I think as a group we've grown together and we've grown with him, which is something I've never really experienced with a coach. It's more of a family all around instead of just like the girls being together. So it's cool to kind of have like a friend and another teammate almost, other than a coach. So
it's a good recruiting pitch, isn't it?
From your perspective.
I think it's interesting. It's we had the bones of, I thought, a great team and a great program. The thing that we tried to do right away was add competition, and I thought we did that. But you had some people that maybe hadn't had a good experience in the past, and so you're working through all that together. And I thought at the beginning of the spring we really gelled. And I don't know if there's any magic words to it or what we really try and do, but it was more about people than it really was golf for quite a long time. And you got some people coming from different experiences, and so that was really just getting to know them and kind of picking up where they're at in their chapter of college, and kind of putting the pieces together and going from there together. So and that ended very beautifully. But I thought we had a great year outside of the championship run. But that was kind of, at that point for us, it was kind of the cherry on top of the sundae. And so, and it's nice to have a lot of those faces returning too. So, I don't really know. It was such a blur too, as she said. We're growing together. Trying to figure out Aggieland and College Station and everything that works here, because it's a totally different sell than it was at Houston, and it was a totally different sell than it was at Oklahoma and at Redlands Community College. So. I think everybody was patient, and the communication was at a very high level, and I think that's the kind of key to successes when you're starting out.
Let's go to TV Row to Justin, and then we'll go back to Irene.
Hailee, whether it's you or Zoe or Jenny, just your lineup is pretty deep. So I think just in practice, Coach was really worried about you guys headed into the first tournament, and I think he was obviously a little over paranoid.
Sandbagging.
But your lineup, how fun is it with you girls? You're on the same team, but practice-wise, competing. It seems like you guys probably push each other a lot.
Absolutely. It makes practice a lot more fun. It makes you want to go. It makes drills more competitive. Definitely qualifying. I love them, and they're my best friends, but I'm like, I want to beat the hell out of you. So it's really fun. And like Zoe the other day shot 66 in qualifying, and I shot 69. I played really good. And I was like, okay, well, I got to shoot 65 tomorrow. So it's fun to be able to compete, and having such a deep lineup like we do. It's interesting, and it makes qualifying interesting. And qualifying was close this time. So I expected to see it, change here and there, but it's been really, really fun to compete and get back into the rhythm of just knowing that, these girls are as good as you or better than you. So, it makes you want to get better every day.
Let's go left side, back to Irene from the battalion.
Hi, Hailee. So Traditions is your home course, but it is a difficult course. So can you explain how it plays to your strengths, and what challenges do you find with the course?
Traditions is tough just because it's visually intimidating. There's a lot of trees, a lot of hazards, but the greens are quick. They have them firm, which I think for us, we kind of know that, and we've been able to play on that, so hopefully that's a strength for us. If you drive the ball well, if you put it in the fairway and hit the green, you'll have a good round. So just keeping it straight on the fairway, making short putts is really important out there. A lot of short putts for par, so.
Got a follow-up from Justin Woodard in the back.
Coach, it's always exciting to host a tournament. I don't think that it's been done around here for a while on the women's side.
What was the first part of that, Justin?
Just the excitement of hosting a tournament.
Yeah, it's and especially coming off what just transpired on Saturday too. There's it's always when you kind of want to parlay off that energy from other teams that are competing at the same time. But yeah, it was pulling up in the parking lot today with everybody getting out. It was a different energy than qualifying, right? And I can't tell you how many coaches have said thank you for bringing it back. This time of year, a place to really evaluate your team on a very tough venue, and for those that just that can drive here, and from the burden of expenses of travel and everything too. So Jeannie Sutherland, who's now at Nebraska, who was here for a long time, sent me a nice text last night saying thanks for bringing it back, and she's really tight with the Welshes too. So that probably means more than some of the stuff from your colleagues, but we've had a great reception from all across the board of getting this thing back on the schedule.
Got another question from Travis down front.
Yeah, Gerrod. What was it about Hailee and her game that attracted you to recruit her here when she was transferring, and what has she brought to the program, the team so far?
Well, I recruited her probably more than any other student athlete I've ever recruited out of high school. And I'll never forget when she told me no, she wasn't coming to Houston. But, I remember when she told me that she was going to go to Texas. And I told her this, and her, when she came here, that I knew this question was going to be asked, but that I thought I'd always be her coach. And there's just some kids you connect with. And, you're just a part of their life outside of golf. And when she graduated early from Texas and was looking for a place to play, she should have been here from the start, regardless of Houston. But, she just, I don't know, represents everything you want. I'm a father. It's what you want to have a daughter. I'm a coach. It's what you want to have a player. And I know what her teammates think of her. So it's a multifaceted thing. That's why you want her here. So
Where's the emotion come from?
her. I can't look at her. She's just, you want 5 of them. And, she was a great host this weekend for a big-time recruit, and that recruit examples kind of what she is. So makes my job easy.
All right, let's go to Rob in the middle left, and then back to Irene.
So tell me about the field for the tournament, and who do you guys got to watch out for? And if you can also tell me how is it coming to A&M after Texas?
I'll let
Oh,
you go
me?
first. I
Oh,
can
okay.
compose myself.
The field, I'm excited. We're playing with my old school, UT, so I'm excited to see that. Just kind of play and get the vibe. Other teams, SMU's coming, Florida's coming. Some really good teams that have great players. I know there's a great girl from UTSA. I'm just excited to see kind of the individual aspect, and also see teams that we're going to see like regionally that could come here. And then, what was the last part of the question?
Tell me about your experience here after being in Texas. What's it like being an Aggie?
Oh, I love it. I will be an Aggie girl for life. My kids will come here if they want me to pay for college. But really, it's such a family here, and people say that. And on my visit, when I was younger, I was like, I just feel like such a connection to the school and the people. And I'm from an hour from here, so I grew up knowing kind of some of the traditions and some of the expectations of being an Aggie, but I never understood it. And then whenever I came here, I was worried I wouldn't really be accepted. I came from UT, which is, our Aggie war hymn. I never even realized the words in that song until I got here. But it's just been such a family. Like, I've been so accepted here. I love it here. So it's been such an honor to be an Aggie and continue to play for them, and I will be an Aggie forever. I love this school. I love the people and the people I get to experience every day. So, yeah.
All right, I think we're going to wrap it up with Irene here in front.
So, Coach, going back to previously, I'd asked Hailee about the challenges of the course. How do you have your team, though it's your home course, you have mentioned before that it's challenging. There are, greens are small, et cetera. You said before pars are good scores. So how do you prepare the team in front of their home crowd, their only home event of the season? How do you prepare them to focus on the course and meet the challenges, but at the same time they're playing to their home crowd? So how do you prepare them for that?
For sure. I think, we tried to kind of cover all that in our team meeting yesterday after we finished up qualifying was that, there's probably not a team out there that knows this place better than they do. So we don't want to overcomplicate things and try and keep the stress off of them, but yet turn them loose where they can show off in front of Aggies. I'll go back to May, the national championship run, and how comfortable we looked in front of cameras. So I think they actually enjoy playing in front of people. This is nice. It's our only home game for the whole year. So I know they're looking forward to that. And we had some Aggies out at Pebble Beach, and it was pretty loud. So I'm excited to have more Aggies in it, make it be really loud. We have paired ourselves with the school from the West, and I hope they're very uncomfortable, not only on the golf course, but with how well we're playing for the first round. But you just want to keep it simple. We're having a team dinner tonight and try and keep with the traditions that we do around travel, and that's really, it's more managing than it really is coaching this week, in all honesty. It gets complicated because you want to be a great host too, with other institutions coming in and putting on a good show for them, and they'll want to come back. So this is actually, hosting a tournament is very hard on staff, but there's no place. I remember first time I came here to the Mo, the first thing that my impression was how many people, volunteers, and just how polite and how hospitable they were. So I hope we put off that vibe as well. But it's they're ready to go. We just need to kind of limit the distractions and cater to their needs more than anything.
Okay, everybody got what they need? Okay, that's a wrap. Thanks.
Thanks.
Good luck this week.